Actors, actresses, musicians, basically celebrities in general, will fight tooth and nail to make sure that they always look their best. And at some point, some A-listers will throw as much money at doctors to make sure that they do look young, regardless of how many tucks, plugs, lifts, or rhinoplasty procedures they will go through. Unfortunately, you cannot beat Father Time. At some point, Gino and I will share the same dome. We know for a fact one day we both will look like Earl. It's sad, but inevitable. Honda, it seems, knows this well because their latest City is not as much as a facelift as it is an upgrade. And this is the RS. Angles and panels will showcase its unique City style. It's really up front where you can convincingly say, if the Civic was your favorite cotton red sweater, this is the result of popping it in the wash, then into the dryer. With dryer sheets, of course. Oh, so soft. 53 millimeters wider than the previous model, the front clip is definitely sleeker with a slimmer grille, DRLs and headlamps that flow towards the side, and fog lamps found down below, which are all LEDs on the RS. Suffice to say, the RS flexes a more sporty look in the form of faux carbon fiber chin, fog light housing, and a blacked out honeycomb grille that would impress even Barry B. Benson. You like jazz? Oh wait, this is a City. Mali! Now, across the lineup, the City is powered by a familiar but new motor. It's a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder iVTEC gasoline engine which produces 119 horses and 145 Nm of torque with Honda's Earth Dream CVT. Well, except for the S, which gets a 6-speed stick. But it's a new engine. The previous generation had a single overhead cam. This is a double. The top end is roughly the same, but the mid-range is a bit beefier. Now, all in all, in traffic of Metro Manila, will get you about anywhere between 8.5 to 14 kilometers per liter. That's because traffic is getting nice and crappy again. Yay! But on the highway, this thing will sail past 21 kilometers per liter, pegged at 100 kilometers per hour on cruise. So really not bad. Upgrade. Now, while it may be missed by most, City followers, fans, and owners alike will notice that the dimensions of the new automobile have changed and gone through an upgrade as well. For instance, it's longer by 113 millimeters, but it is shorter by 10 millimeters. Repeaters found on the black cap folding side mirrors sit above stylish cuts that run through the entire length, from the swooping headlamps, then purposely caught by the rear lamps. There are disc brakes up front, unfortunately drum only at the rear, and these are what slows the spin of the 16-inch wheels and 55 series tires. All in all, it sits above 134 millimeters of ground clearance. Now the rear I actually do get. From the shark's fin, to the tail lamps, to the faux carbon, even this tiny little lip spoiler. You're really not gonna need it. You're not running the lights of Suzuka, but I get it. It actually works. It's nice. Pop the boot and you are looking at 519 liters of space, which is pretty good considering the car is less than 12 feet long and only 5.7 feet wide, maximized by a space-saving tire found underneath. Earl, what, you need an invitation? Get in, man. Stop struggling. Comfy? There you go. Good boy. Thank you. Now these are the most posture-centered seats I've ever been on at the back. It's amazing. It's kind of reminiscent of those days when your parents or elders used to tell you to sit up straight, which is actually the downfall of this rear. See, when you do sit up straight on these elevated seats, the headroom, well, there's not much left, though the legroom is absolutely great. Toys include
Have some water.
Shut up, Earl! A center armrest with 2 cup holders, ball holders and speakers on either door, 2 air vents in the center, and 2 12-volt sockets. This day and age, I would have thought USB. Also, the seats. It's actually pretty wild. 3 different types of material for 3 different functions. You've got cloth to keep your knee pits dry. You've got suede to keep your butt in place. And you've got false leather, well, that's for the tree huggers, to let you know that this car is cruelty-free.
Help!
Shut up, Earl. Kulit!
Please.
Now, in the cockpit, the biggest difference from generation to generation is how the center console and the buttons are no longer tilted towards the driver. The 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which doubles as your reverse camera, as well as the air controls found underneath, now squarely face the center of the cabin. The air controls, the engine start located on the right, the trip controls located on the left, the analog instrument cluster, even the rectangular chip computer in the center should all quell any OCD quirks. It all gels really very well. The steering wheel, however, this thing stands out, but in a really good way. 99% of the time when you're driving, this is home, right? So this guy, it's just impressive. Like it belongs in a Legend or an Accord. I mean, it's just built really solid, feels good to the touch. Speaking of the Accord, last time we got a red one. This time, impressed I am not.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah, it really was, it was.
Don't do it again.
Do it again?
Don't do it again.
I won't. Can we just drive? The all-new Honda City RS comes with dual front airbags, side curtain airbags, vehicle stability assist with agile handling assist, hill start assist, ABS with EBD, emergency stop signal, multi-view rear camera, speed sensing door locks, seatbelt reminders, child safety lock, and ISOFIX extenders. Going around the city in the city really it's tailor-made. It's the best description that anyone can really give. It's pretty quiet in here and it's supremely comfortable and when going over bumps and potholes. The suspension is nice and plush, the steering is light, and the engine hums along quietly. It's very refined really, and this model has really come a long way since its previous generation. Although when you're on the highway, that's when oddly enough it can get a little bit loud because, well, there are eco tires on this guy, regardless whether they're 55 series or not. It's a little bit noisy once you hit 100 kilometers per hour. I gotta say though, although the improvements to the engine were pretty much minimal, you do feel it ever so slightly. Yes, the top end is the same like I mentioned, but the mid-range is a little bit beefier, it feels peppier, and well, the CVT always keeps you in gear. Throttle response is also not that bad, and if you want to get a little bit more exciting, like that motorcycle that just passed me by, there's always paddles. Yes, paddles on an RS, always a good thing. Handling-wise, it's actually a pretty great car, as with all other Hondas. It's not a Type R, my god, not a lot of things are, but really, it's not bad at all. And it corners really well and it has a fair amount of feedback from the steering wheel. It also feels stable at speed and you won't be scared to press that pedal. Though you may feel a little lag, but really it's nothing that you can't get accustomed to. Now, while the model lineup leans more towards the mature side, the RS, yeah, well, that kind of leans towards the other end of the spectrum. However, that youthful exuberance does come at a price. While the rest of the variants fall just below the 1 million Philippine peso line, this thing trips over it by 48,000 Philippine pesos. But the features do add a lot of value to it. And to be honest with you, that's a face that could remain in Hollywood for quite some time.